for people at the moment. So we ran a campaign, the Big Bang Switch, and we managed to get an offer, and we put that out in the market yesterday. So if anyone wants to, see if they can refinance their mortgage, I'd encourage them to go to onebigswitch.ie and check out the group negotiated offer we got from Ulster Bank.
And if people, this is an interesting one now, David, and I don't know whether because of the fact that you probably are in negotiations and a lot of what you're talking about is very, very new and very, very fresh. But if somebody is already with Ulster Bank, can they negotiate the same mortgage at a lesser rate?
They'd have to speak with them. I'd just encourage people to come and check out the offer, see what the terms and conditions are, and see if they can renegotiate. Then I'd say broadly, people can renegotiate their mortgage anytime with their own provider, with Ulster Bank, with a new provider. So one of the big things One Big Switch pushes all the time, whether it's energy or mortgages or insurance, is that you can use our offers to shop around. So even with our energy offer at the moment with Bord Gáis, just because it's with Bord Gáis, maybe you're with Bord Gáis, maybe you don't like Bord Gáis, what I'd say is you can get that offer, just like the Ulster Bank offer, and you can go to your existing provider or another provider and use that as leverage to get yourself a better deal.
Yeah, the same with which people have been doing off their own bat, of course, for years, is when it comes up to car renewal, car insurance renewal, they've been ringing other companies and getting the best prices that they can and then going back to their original provider and saying, well, hang on a minute, where's the loyalty here? I've been with you for so many years, and all of a sudden this crowd are giving me a rate that's a lot cheaper than the one you're providing.
That's right, and quite often you're not going to your insurers and your energy companies, they're not going to call you and say, we've got better deals. You've got to do it yourself. So we say that if you're on the standard rate, so if you've never switched before, you're essentially paying a loyalty tax. And we found with our new offer, with our dual fuel energy offer, for someone that's on the standard rates, they could save up to €330 just by switching to this offer.
Can you give us that again, David? Sorry.
So if you're on the standard rates and you've never switched, you take up this new energy offer. We figured out that there's about a €333 average savings figure. So, I mean, if you're in the pub and someone knocked you on the shoulder and said, listen, for 5 minutes of your time, I can save you €333, you'd probably take it up. So, that's all it takes is 5 minutes online and you can switch and save.
Yeah, it would appear that anybody who doesn't contact One Big Switch is leaving a lot of their own money with somebody else. David, how would people contact One Big Switch? Because I would imagine that a lot of our listeners would be more than interested in contacting you to see what sort of a deal they're... Number one, I suppose, compare and contrast, the deal they're getting with the deal that they could be getting. So how would people contact One Big Switch?
So it's all at onebigswitch.ie. Joining is cost and obligation free. So all you have to do is add your email address and say what county you're from. You'll be able to check out the offer and then you can choose to take it up, choose to use it to shop around or whatever you like. No obligation.
And do you actually do the shopping around for the person, or is it a website that the people have to navigate themselves in order to get the best deal? Can you explain just a little bit how it works?
Not at all. So when you join One Big Switch, all you're doing is essentially throwing your hat in the ring. So you're saying, I want to be a part of this people power movement. I want to join the 85,000 others that are part of One Big Switch. And that's it. No more work for the consumer, no more work for the member. What we do is we have those 85,000 members. We go to energy companies and insurers and say, listen, we've got all of these people that are very interested in switching. What's the best offer you can come up with? Once we find an offer that we think is the best for our members, we take that single offer and we send it to our members. So we'll send it to them in email and we say, listen, we got this offer. You guys use your people power to unlock it. Come and check it out. So they come back to the website and then they can choose to take it up. There's no shopping around for them in particular on the website.
And I know, David, that we have seen we've obviously seen it here on Northside today, the press releases, but people will have seen the ads that have been running for One Big Switch. But I presume that One Big Switch is not something that, if you'll pardon the pun, flicks a switch once a year. I presume you're 12 months of the year continuously working in relation to these things.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd say as a rule of thumb, you should be switching your energy every year. I mean, this offer that we've got at the moment, it has a break fee. So if you switch within a year, you'll incur a break fee. But that's pretty standard across the market. But we do run campaigns throughout the year. So it's energy now, banking now, in 3 months, 4 months, we might do health insurance, we might do car insurance. So once you're a member of One Big Switch, you'll be kept in the loop with those communications. So you might join up now for the energy offer, and then if we've got a health insurance offer in 6 months' time, you'll hear about that then.
Yeah, that was...
Like before, you get the choice to take it up.
That was actually... You've answered my next question there, because I was going to say that I would imagine with the current situation in relation to health insurance that there would be massive interest, and I would imagine a massive take-up for an organisation like yours that can take a person's individual details and find them the cheapest offer that's out there, because if you go into that market, I would imagine that you're going to be swamped with work.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of areas where our members are looking for discounts. In car insurance is another one we're working on. We're continually working on finding different areas, especially ones that are too expensive and for some reason prices haven't dropped. We like to increase competition by taking on campaigns in those areas.
Well, David, it sounds like an absolutely brilliant system, and I know from interviewing and speaking to you before how it works, but I think we've a whole new swathe of listeners here who will be more than interested. And once again, David, can you please give us the details of how they can contact One Big Switch and let somebody else do the shopping for them and come up with the cheapest bargain?
Absolutely. So it's joining free at onebigswitch.ie. All you give over is your email address and your county. Then you just wait for the offers to come. That's it, onebigswitch.ie.
It almost sounds too good to be true, but as I said, I have spoken to you before a couple of years ago now, actually. I would imagine it was when you were founding One Big Switch or when it was starting off first. So I know exactly how it works, but as I said, we have a whole new audience out there now, and I hope that they benefit from the offers you are providing. David, we will follow your progress with great interest, and I have no doubt that we will be talking to you again, because I think when it comes down to the aspect of health insurance, that is something at the moment which everybody is watching so tightly, because it has become front and centre. David Liston from One Big Switch, thank you so much indeed for joining us.
No problem.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Weekday mornings at 11, Northside Today.
90.3.
This is Near FM.